Welcome back to SBS Live for part 2 with Throttlecaster. There's a lot I could say about the last episode. I know I personally enjoyed it for a lot of reasons. First of all, I like it when an artist brings some history to the studio and actually, we learn something, there's no question. Aside from that, having Katja here as well to offer that other perspective, again, I can't tell the two of them how much I personally appreciated having them here. What else do I want to tell you about? I want to talk about Erko for a second. I want to tell you that Erko's got a quality that really resonated with me, I guess. Not only through his performance, which we've gotten a lot of feedback about. I get endless emails, you guys keep me up at night, which is great. But they talk a lot about the performance with Erko and just kind of how haunting and kind of really alone and just kind of isolated that performance looked and felt. And they're right. It was. It kind of, I was standing in the room with him, but the difference in the atmosphere when he was playing was just astounding. So in addition to that, Erko is the kind of guy that, in my opinion, he's really brought a lot to the table in terms of facial expression. There's a look in your eye that you can see in a person that has hungered for that moment, that wants that chance. And I see that in a person like Erko, and I think you guys did too. Now, what personally hit home for me about the interview with Throttlecaster here was the want for the human connection. Now, that's something that we all look for, especially in the musical community. There's nobody that I know of that is in this business that is not trying to reach out in some way. So the ability to say that and the ability to really see that on somebody's face, this guy's got a facial expression that it tells a story each and every time. So that's something that's relatable to all of us, and I think that that's something that really translated to all of you, again, based on everything you're telling me. So before we even get into the episode and get into the acoustic performance at the end, I just want to say another personal thank you to both of them for coming and really sharing a lot of different perspectives that we haven't had here yet, and making this show yet another unique one in our catalog. So thank you very much again to Throttlecaster for being here with us. These guys drove down a heck of a long way from Kamloops to us down here in Abbotsford in the Fraser Valley. And as a music fan, as a person that loves music, as a studio, I can speak for the rest of us here at SBS. That's what I do. We all love music, and Throttlecaster brought it a long way to us here. So let's get started here on SBS Live with Throttlecaster. This applies to you.
The bottom line is, with your music, you gotta reach masses. Mm-hmm. You gotta reach masses. So absolutely. You're not gonna do it in the bars. Right. You gotta have all the media outlets. You have YouTube. You have say a film industry. Documentaries, whatever. They can use your music in the film industries. There's, I don't know, a billion.
As far as the internet goes, do you guys feel like you're using it fully to your advantage at this point for Throttlecaster, or is there still room to grow there? Or?
We could do more.
Right.
It's very time
It is,
intense, so we could do more, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And reach different markets too, Europe, you know, South
Yeah.
America.
Europe is
Japan.
a huge place for metal, right?
And
It's
we
something
had
that
quite
we
a bit of
always know.
success there too. Like, there's quite a few contacts that have been established. It's just, again, the financial background you need to actually get there.
Yeah,
So Northern Europe would be the ideal area for Throttlecaster to play. They would be very popular.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, and it'll just be a sea of people bouncing along to that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stuff, because that's Europe is known for it. So when it comes to actual online stuff, Katja, I arranged again most of this through you. My first time to actually get to meet you and talk to you, Erko.
Yeah.
If I was an average fan, am I able to reach Throttlecaster? Am I able to get a hold of you?
Yeah.
I just saw a concert, loved it.
Yeah.
Want to tell Erko?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how do we do that?
We have a website, Throttlecaster.com. It's been published since 2007, 2008, at the end of 2008 it was first put up, and it's never been down, so our photos, bios, contact information is on that website.
Right.
MySpace has the newest songs,
Yeah.
recorded live at Sturgis North Biker Rally, 2011, and then remastered. So it's clean.
Right.
We cleaned up some of the tracks. So you can hear the three new songs on that.
It's as new as it gets, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
as new as it gets right now. So yeah, it's 2011. So there's 3 tracks on it. There's Adrenaline, Unseen, and Torment. 3 songs on there. And then that's it. Yeah, we have a website and MySpace.
And there's quite a few videos posted on YouTube as well for people that are interested in the live performance.
Definitely
So,
saw that. I mean, again, obviously financing dependent, but music video would obviously be in the plans for the new album, I'm assuming, as well.
Yeah.
Get yourself out there that
Absolutely,
way.
yeah.
What kind of merchandise do you guys sell at your shows?
Well, we've had T-shirts, hoodies, we've had tank tops, then we had all kinds of stickers and itty bitty things.
Well, the regular stuff.
I like what I like best about what I just heard is that you're not saying CD.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I find a lot of bands that right now are. Everybody's struggling for financing. It's just the way it is, and it's always going to be that way in the musician world, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of what they're still doing, is they're still going to their shows with 400 CDs loaded in a crate and expecting to sell them all, and selling 4 if they're lucky.
Absolutely.
And so one of the things that we always try and encourage them to do is, you know what, the fans are still out there. They still like you. They still support you. They still want something to hold on to. It's just not a CD anymore. So I'm actually very happy to hear you guys are out there with shirts and all that. Have you had much success with that kind of stuff? Or at least in comparison to a CD?
It
do you
it
find
goes
that those
through
are selling
waves. It goes through waves. It always depends on the crowd too, and then you know, like how many bands have been through that town the week before you come.
Right.
There is shows that we can sell quite a bit of it, and then other shows it's very slow.
Right.
But yeah.
But do you have, I would assume you do have your album alongside there as well,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And do you find that the other merchandise is selling more lately than the CD itself, or are you still selling
It's still balanced.
Still it is, yeah. So there's the most popular things are still the CD, and then the T-shirt would be the second one. But in Kamloops, I think we had so many people already got the CD, got the T-shirt already.
Right.
It's like.
But there's something to be said for that, though, right? You walk down the street, you get to see somebody in your T-shirt, and that's got to feel good, right?
I remember we played a show in Alberta, in Canmore, and there's a band, it was called All Else Fails, and they had this really cool cut girl's T-shirt that was on a rack, but it was like on the rack, on the hanger.
Right.
And all the girls just wanted to buy this T-shirt because it was a really cool color. It was really good, like a trendy cut. And so they like one after another. Just go.
Hit the right style.
So it's something to be said with the quality of the T-shirt too, and then your logo. If your logo really sticks out and it's a cool idea, or a fun idea, then a person, even though they might not be a huge fan of your music, but you know the T-shirt is cool. I want to get that.
Yeah, it transcends past the music. It just becomes style at that point, and you know that certainly doesn't hurt you guys in any event. If they're out there wearing your name, that's always going to be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So, Katja, I know you're very excited about the new Throttlecaster tracks. We've established that, and we've talked about that, and I know that. I am curious, it is a large genre, and it has a gluttony of hard rock bands, and especially, you might, I don't know if you see it as much in Kamloops as we might hear closer to the lower mainland, but there's a ton of them. So, I'm curious as to what can still be done in hard rock. Like what kind of ground is still left to be broken in that genre? What can still be brought to it? And are you guys the guys to do it?
Well, that's a good question. That's
Can I answer?
Yeah.
I think they are. Absolutely.
Okay. Good answer so far. I like that. Nice.
Well, hard rock, see, like what is out there? People that fill huge venues are the ones that are to retire soon.
Right.
And it needs something fresh and something that is real music that is played out of the heart and not just made up for the radio.
Right.
And I think that's what you get with Throttlecaster. Fresh topics that are not, you know, repeated a million times, and you know that freshness and true music. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's a good endorsement, Erko. You gotta like that, man.
Yeah. Thing is, I've always I've had a like I don't think that like there's a genre, you know, emo, screamo, right? The emo with screaming vocals.
Yeah.
That and also the lyrically, like talking about, say, girlfriend, boyfriend relationships and things like that. That's the genre that they just want to stay away from. That topics that I don't know. I have no inspiration or no motivation to write about that. So
been there and done that. We've all heard them before.
Yeah, I've heard them before. That's what I think what gets old or like gets too repeated. I think.
Sure.
You know, like it's just,
so when it comes to that, what lyrically, what do you find that you're writing about as in a Throttlecaster song?
Like I've written quite a bit of you know, issues with you know, more spiritual side of it, like a life after death. You know, and you know, transition. We all, like, everybody's now talking about this big December 21st coming up, the Mayan calendar is ending, right? Nobody's knowing where we're gonna land. Is the world gonna end? I mean, but the bottom line is nobody has been dead and come back to life and said that, well, this is what's happening on the other side. Right? So it's always been this discussion point where everybody has their own versions, but nobody really. But as a Christian, I believe in life after death, and that's a lot of my influence come from there. Just to write about this topic and write about that theme, and you know.
There's a lot of open doors in that theme, though. Like, I mean, that's a great, if that is kind of one of the more broader subject matters for Throttlecaster. I mean, there's so many places you can go with that, and that's, you know, that gives you a lot of good material to work with, right?
And yeah, the other thing that I write about is you know, observing you know, people around me, close people, family, friends, and the struggles and things that they've go through. I mean, obviously, all of us make decisions. You know, some decisions yield success, some decisions yield, you know, being unsuccessful. I mean, all of us have friends who are more successful than the others. I mean, all the decision making and the results in life. That's another topic that I usually write songs about. You know.
And is there an intent behind the writing of your songs, like it.
I mean, it's always to connect with people. I mean,
Right.
if you want to, you know, write a song, it's oh yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, I've been, like, I mean, say Megadeth, you know, the new albums is talking about, you know, living from credit card to credit card. It's,
Right.
it's a tough.
And that's Megadeth.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a struggle. It's not a life. Life is not. It just doesn't happen. There's no easy way, really. I mean, if you try to be independent and try to, you know, find what you're good at, and then getting education. I mean, even like in my own life, I mean, I've yet to come across an easy path or a path that takes me, you know, to success with just like going. I mean, everything that I've had success, I've had to work my ass off.
Right. But I mean, let's assume for a second though, you're living the complete opposite life where it now has been handed to you. I'm gonna go on record and say you're not a metal act at that point. You're gonna be a pop act with the rest of them. So you know you've got those struggles, and that's kind of what, you know. Again, be proud of who you are at this point. Throttlecaster's putting out some great quality music, and you know you guys can definitely be satisfied with the representation of that. So struggles or not, they built you up to where you are at this point, and it's definitely, you know, you guys have got strong footing going forward. So I mean, it's definitely something to be said for that, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Like to give you the opportunity, if there's anything that you want to pass on directly to your fans, just kind of like an open floor, open forum. If you want to give them a big old hug, if you want to give them a recipe to Mom's apple crisp, whatever you want to do, just take a couple seconds and go for it.
I would personally really appreciate some emails if this interview is posted on YouTube or anywhere. I would appreciate if somebody would send us an email. It's bookings@throttlecaster.com is the email address. You can go to the Throttlecaster website. All the contact information is there. Send us some feedback, something that you want to say to us. Anything that would be really appreciated. I always love getting an email from a fan. You know, oh, I found you on a solo band. You guys really. This song particularly really like stood out. I'm looking forward to hearing your new material and things like that. You know, even small email will get you. You know.
Well, it's got to punch you up, right? Yeah. And I imagine, like, if you're saying that your intent is to connect with people as well.
Yeah.
Then man, I can't even imagine the value of something like that coming back at you through an inbox where somebody else over there on the other side is going, maybe he doesn't even read it, whatever. Send. And over on your side, that means the whole world. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Throttlecaster, I appreciate you being here. I understand you're going to pick up some guitar for us today, so we'll set you up for that. But yeah, Katja and Erko, I really appreciate you guys coming by the studio today. And yeah, let's get them set up here and let's do what we do.
Now here's Erko from Throttlecaster in another acoustic performance on SBS Live.
For
Now that might have been shorter, but there's no question that was just as good. So once again, thank you, Erko, for giving us a different version of your songs. We appreciate something just a little bit altered. As you can tell, we're a little bit strange. So there's no question that you must have seen what I was referring to in the intro about Erko and his need to kind of communicate with the fans out there, the people that listen to music. And you know what? There's an interesting aspect there that allows you to kind of cross genres from whatever you might like to just kind of listen to what he's got to say through his music. Now, having personally digested a lot of Throttlecaster this week, and certainly before that, to understand what they're all about, I can definitely say that there's a lot of mysticism, a lot of wisdom, and just a lot of real heart behind these songs. So once again, thank you. Be sure to check out more of what Throttlecaster's got to offer at throttlecaster.com, and of course more from us at sleepingbagstudios.ca, and register for the THRICE contest if you have not done so already. Next week we shift gears and we take you from the more mainstream stuff we've done to probably one of the more independent acts we've seen, as we take you from our little studio here all the way across the pond to Sweden. We're going to have a band called Madness of the Night here. Well, not here. We actually interviewed them through video. We sent them clips, they sent us clips back, and then we put it all together for you out there. So we're interested in seeing just what the perspective from a completely different country is going to bring to our studio here. This has never been done for us before. You know, I like to talk, so I mean, I may as well try and reach out to the rest of the world because I've probably exhausted you already. But to go back to Madness of the Night, this is a band that's going to challenge everybody on this show as to whether or not we're really music fans or if we're just fans of a specific genre. If there's something that, you know, draws us to a track that we need, or if we just accept all ideas and all music. Now, Madness of the Night is a political band, and they've got something to say, so I'm extremely looking forward to having them on my show, and I'm extremely looking forward to hearing what you think about them. So we'll see you on Wednesday with SBS Live, when we take on Madness of the Night from Sweden and see exactly what they have to say about their music, and tell us a little bit about exactly what it's like to be there. I've never been to Sweden, so I'm interested in hearing another perspective on music entirely here on SBS Live.